President Trump references a One America News story about another controversy at the New York Times. In a tweet today, the president called disgraced columnist Bret Stephens a lightweight journalist who does anything his bosses at the paper tell him to do. The president went on to slam Stephens, saying he's now quitting Twitter after being called a bedbug, mocking him as a tough guy. This week, the writer said he's deactivating his Twitter account after being called a bedbug by a George Washington University professor and being ridiculed on social media over the situation. One America's Karen McKinney has more on the controversy.
A New York Times columnist quits Twitter after being called a bedbug in a tweet. Bret Stephens uploaded his last post Tuesday morning before deactivating his account, which had over 140,000 followers. In it, Stephens called Twitter a sewer which brings out the worst in humanity, and he apologized for any part he may have played in making it worse. That's in reference to the way he handled a comment made by a professor at George Washington University on Monday, after reports claimed there was an infestation of bedbugs in the newsroom at the New York Times. The professor took the opportunity to make a jab at the columnist, writing, "The bedbugs are a metaphor. The bedbugs are Bret Stephens." Stephens was not tagged in the tweet, which only had 9 likes and 0 retweets, but that did not stop him from emailing the professor, asking to meet in person to see if he would call him a bedbug to his face. Stephens' email included a CC of his university, leading many to wonder if he was trying to get the professor in trouble with his boss.
I had no intention whatsoever to get him in any kind of professional trouble, but it is the case at the New York Times and other institutions that people should be aware, managers should be aware of the way in which their people, their professors or journalists interact with the rest of the world.
The exchange was uploaded to Twitter, where it went viral, sparking a wave of criticism from users who said Stephens could dish it out but couldn't take it. However, Stephens is refusing to back down.
Using dehumanizing rhetoric like bedbugs or, analogizing people to insects is always wrong. We can do better. There's a bad history of being called, of being analogized to insects that goes back to a lot of totalitarian regimes in the past.
This is the latest in a string of controversies at the Times this month. A deputy Washington editor was recently demoted, and a senior staff editor made to apologize for making anti-Semitic and racially insensitive comments on Twitter. Karen McKinney, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.